Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Libra. If Libra is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. Okay, Pisces. This is a bonus reading. And our card tonight is the Six of Wands. And this is from the Hermetic deck. Has everything to do with victory. So let's see, what do you have going on? And I want to mention, if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing so. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And it is free to subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. And we would love to have you here at the channel. Okay. So, let's talk about this eye. A couple of eyes. Okay, so we have an eye right here, and I want to look at it like this, actually. Please just drop. There you go. Okay, so we have an eye right here, and it looks like it has like a, it feels like it's crying. Okay, we have a fire next to it, and, I mean, do we, though? I guess it's not, because when I turn it this way, it actually looks like two fish, and this one kind of looks like a fish, too. It looks like an eye and a fish, but I am reading it first as an eye, okay? So I feel like there has been there's been some emotionality happening. There's been something going on. It, you know, brings you to tears. I feel like it's frustration more than loss or anything like that. Just kind of overwhelmed. Okay. Feeling like things are chaotic. It's you know, everything is out of control. Everything feels messy. You know, there's like a sensory overload, just like tearing at the eyes. Okay. Now, up here, I see we have, it looks like a stop sign. On the side, it looks like a fish, but here, this way, stop sign. Okay. So I really feel like there is this need to stop. Okay. And I feel like this is something that you've already, you know, you're already in the process of really just like, okay, I need to just take a moment, right? Take a beat, find my grounding, get my feet planted on the ground, get to the center of things, okay? The list of things that you have to do. You know, the priorities of things that are going on. Letting go of some of the stuff that's not necessary right now. Okay? Breathing. It's hard. It's hard when you're in that chaos, right? It's loud. It's a bunch of chores. The house is a mess. Things everywhere. You know, you're late for work. Kids are sick maybe. I don't know. You know, it's just like one of those days. One of those times in life. Maybe it's been weeks, months. It's just, you know, there's no words sometimes. So we stop. We stop. And we let go of the things we don't have to do. You know, let the house be messy. You know, let them be loud. Let the things be loud. Go outside, breathe. Take a moment for yourself. The season, I'm telling you, It's like one or the other. It's like, oh, so overwhelming. There's a million things to do. Or on the other side of it, there's not enough. And it's like, I'm feeling lonely. I don't have anywhere to be. Nobody is, checking in on me, or I'm not, my family's far away, whatever it is. And maybe this is just my experience. It's like one or the other. And it's so amplified, and in these moments we have to stop, and it's just bring it to the center. Let go of all the stuff. Start to think about, what can I do right now? What is possible? What's important? What is possible? The other stuff, I don't even need to look at it. Okay. We also have the circle, and now we have the fish. Okay. And this turns into a boat. Okay. So I feel like really, this kind of just overwhelming time, it has occurred. And it makes sense to me from the other readings that I've done for Pisces recently, that there are moments where there's, oh my gosh, great success, everything's going great. But then it becomes like so much. It's like a buzzing that is like getting louder and louder and louder. And, I'm about to have an anxiety attack, but I do think that things are slowing down because you are implementing some mindfulness, because you are, advocating for yourself, to yourself, allowing yourself to, not have to do every little thing. Not coming down on yourself when you're not achieving all of the things that you feel like you need to achieve. Sometimes we just need to be able to get through a day, right? We need to get enough sleep. We need to eat. We need to, hopefully, if we're lucky, bathe, put on some clean clothes. Maybe do some chores, maybe do some work. And that's enough sometimes. So I feel like we're getting through this. We're getting through it. Okay. We have that victory card. So I'm already like, okay, so I know you have this. You're on it. Okay. We have the fish. We have the boat. The boat for me is about movement of energies. A migration of energies, moving forward. The fish, there is abundance. Okay, there's an abundance of whatever it is that you're working on. With the outcome, there is abundance there. You are doing well. You are doing well. Now, sometimes we start to do we just get on with it, like work or whatever kind of project we're doing, our creative processes, they're going so well, the flow is just there. And then you just hit that wall where it's like everything, it's too much. You've taken on a lot. Okay. It's hard to stop because you are doing well, and maybe you are making money. And you're getting burnt out, you're grinding as much as you can, as hard as you can to just, do the thing. And so I feel like, in really forcing yourself to kind of take some kind of little break, pause, a moment, having a better schedule. That's a big one. Finding a good routine. If the routine you have is not working for you, switch it up. If you don't have one at all, find one. It's important to have a routine, especially if you are really, doing some kind of work and it's going well, you have to have some kind of routine, or you're just going to, you know, kind of, that's too much. Anyways, in my mind, that's too much chaos. So I really feel like things are getting on track, okay? Reorienting yourself to getting this thing done. Now we also have a person here who's holding kind of a ball of fire, it looks like. Okay, and so this is why I keep really looking at this and feeling like this really is kind of something you're very passionate about, something that you've put a lot of effort into. I don't know if this is your core work, or not core work, but if this is like your day job. This might be like a hobby. This might be, like I said, like if you're an artist or a creative, or maybe you are, has to do with spiritual work or whatever it is. And I feel like you are really, you know, figuring out this new place. You're getting your footing, okay? You're coming out of that extreme anxiety, that feeling of like shutdown, okay? And coming out of that, there's a sense of victory. There's a sense of embracing the fire. You have that illuminating fire, you know, and you can imagine just holding it in your hand, not burning, right? And so, you know, I think that there's just, this is a beautiful opening. This will be a time where, there's just so much confidence in these, Pisces readings in the last few months. I guess maybe it's been like 2.5 months. A lot of confidence, gaining, doing well, and really coming into a deeper sense of self. And I feel like, you know, even if you are, you know, 75 years old, maybe you're 25 years old, I don't know, it doesn't matter, but there is a sense of really finding a part of your being, your personality, your ability, that seemed inaccessible before. And suddenly it's like it's clicked, you're doing the thing, and it feels like you're invincible in some ways. But again, and this is how we get into burnout though, then we push ourselves so hard and we don't take the breaks we need. We continually try to do more and more and more. And you get to a point where it's just too much, right? This is a cliche, right? It's something that happens to people, and it will probably always happen to people. So we have to be careful. We have to manage our time well. We have to take care of ourselves physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, all of the things. That in itself is a lot of work. But it is most necessary. You have to be able to sustain your corporeal form, your spiritual form, so that you can do this important work that you are doing. Okay? And here I feel like we have just like a chain of people standing on each other's shoulders. And it feels like there is a turn towards really relying on different aspects of self, right? And maybe even, because this is in the emotional place, I feel like this is like a balancing of these different emotional alignments with the archetypes or with the personas. That we all carry quite a few, right? Just to navigate life. And I see you kind of getting to a deeper place of kind of synthesizing these into something that is, quite central and powerful. And I really wonder if you have started kind of your own business, or if you're doing like you're doing work for yourself, because I feel like when you work out in the world, among people, and maybe, I don't know, maybe this is just my own experience here, but you know, we really are forced to have kind of more what's the word, compartmentalized aspects of self, and just to really keep ourselves, you know, safe in a lot of ways, but also and I think there's an instinct to protect our core self and our sacred things, our sacred spaces, our sacred identity. And when we spend at least the majority of time doing things that we want to do for ourselves, we're creating in spaces that are for ourselves, and maybe they're sharing them publicly, but it's in such a way that you're in control of it. There is this sense of being able to be to align more of these aspects of the archetypes into one, right? Because there's nobody that's micromanaging your identity or what you're doing, your behaviors, all these kinds of things. You kind of are in charge of that more so than any other. You know, you work at a bank, there's like a certain you know, code of conduct, or, you know, whatever field you work in. I'm just trying to think of something that you have to be pretty professional. But yeah, so I think that I almost wonder if you are spending a lot of time doing this thing for yourself, because I really see this alignment in the different aspects of self. And you can think of this as like your different parts of identity. So if you're like, you know, somebody's child, you're somebody's spouse, you're an artist, you're a banker, you're a, you know, I don't know, maybe you're like a lodge member or whatever it is. All of these things, they're a little bit different. You have different aspects of self kind of ruling these different places. And when they align into something that is really, the energy can flow up and down. And there is kind of a, you know, it makes sense to be able to move through these spaces very much yourself. There's a freedom in that. And I'm not going to romanticize it, because, you know, I understand having to be, you know, many things, you know, and part of that is that I'm just a really, ultimately very private person. You know, and I'm a mother, and this has been the big one for me, becoming a mother and then going out into the world as a mother and a peer of other parents. And, you know, I'm very sensitive to, not, yeah, I don't know, sharing my opinions or beliefs or proclivities or whatever to people, especially you know, in situations where it doesn't really come up naturally, you know, that's a natural kind of conversation thing. And so I kind of feel like, okay, I'm hiding myself, but I'm not, you know, but I am. So I get it. There's kind of a disconnect, and it's like compartmentalized, and it's understandable. There's nothing wrong with that. And so, you know, I just want to say that, like, if that's not where you're at, I'm not, you know, I get it. I'm not there, you know, to be myself and completely myself everywhere I'm at. I'm not. Although I do, you know, I do these videos. I feel pretty much myself here. And anybody can see them, you know. Although I don't think that many people that know us know very much about our channels or anything. But so yeah, but I do feel like there's just this emphasis on, I almost imagine like a bright light, you know, like a lantern. The lantern is on full blast in that core of the being. You know, you're in there, you're doing your work, you're in your own sacred cave, and there is that lantern. It's on, everything is illuminated and it is shining out and is casting a light on all aspects of self. And so, let's see. We have we have a frog, and then we have just these little speckles of emotionality. And for me, the frog is kind of the keeper of the exterior of the home. Kind of, when it comes up for me, it is like a household god, but a backyard spirit, as I like to call them. They watch over the entrances and the portals of our house. The windows, the doors. And so I feel like there is an emphasis on protection of your domestic dwelling, okay? And so I don't think that there's anything necessarily going on there, but just kind of a reminder of checking things over. You know, and quite in a practical sense, looking over your windows, your locks, your doors, you know, making sure everything is, you know, functioning well. But also, I think just really, if you have any kind of protective rituals, ceremonies, or things that you like to put up, you know, maybe you have like a patron saint or some, you know, some kind of ornament or decoration, you know, that makes you feel protected, maybe a talisman or sigil, something. I think it's a good time to adorn your house with these things, but also, again, just kind of in a practical sense, look things over, okay? Always a good idea. Always a good idea to make sure that stuff is functioning. Okay, so we're gonna look at the Cincy Child affirmation cards, and I really like this deck so much. This is why I kind of was really attracted to it. It says, "I believe in myself." I was like, yes, I do. I like that energy. So I'm going to go ahead and flip through. I'm going to stop where it feels right. We're going to read it together. It says, "I honor and respect myself." Oh, good. I'm glad that you do. Good, good, good. I honor and respect myself. All right. Libra, I'm going to go ahead and say, nope, not Libra, Pisces, my bad. Libra was the last reading. Pisces, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you for letting me do this bonus reading for you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. If you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And it is free to subscribe, so you don't have to pay for it. Also, if you want to leave a comment, I read them all. They mean a lot to me. And I just love hearing what's going on with you and so on, what you're thinking about. All right. Time for me to go to bed. It is. So I love you. We'll talk soon. Take care of yourself.